Hello and welcome to Something by Hannah and to the 11th project in my series of 12 Weeks of Christmas. This is a fabulous, large-ish box actually, that I thought would be lovely for handmade truffles, although I haven't had a chance to make any. I did consider putting Ferrero Rocher in it, I've got to say, but I haven't. I've held off on my Ferrero Rochers for this year. So I'm going to take this belly band off and you can see how this box opens. So just really nicely like that, and you can see how big that is inside. So to make this, you need one whole sheet. You can get one of these out of a sheet of A4 cardstock, so it is a little bit indulgent. So maybe for really nice truffles or somebody that's really special. I'll move it out of the way. And so I've got a piece of cardstock. This one is in Garden Green, but I've got a piece of Cherry Cobbler cardstock today that measures 10 inches by 8 inches. When I've converted it to metric, the metric box is a little bit smaller, but only a tiny amount. But the metric measurements are 25 centimetres by 20 centimetres. As always, the link in the down bar below takes you directly to this blog project, this blog post with all the links and the measurements on, ready for you. So you don't need to take notes, just go click over to the blog and it's all there for you. So I'm going to bring in my Simply Scored, and we're going to score on the short side first today at 2 inches and 6 inches, and then we're going to turn it onto the long side and score at 2, 4, 6 and 8. So in metric, if you score on the short side first at 5 and 15 centimetres, and then turn it around and score it at 5, 10, 15 and 20 centimetres. Like I said, all the measurements are in the down bar below. I told you how big this box actually is, have I yet? It is 2 inches tall by 2 inches deep by 4 inches. Yeah, 4 inches across. And the metric version is 5 centimetres tall, 5 centimetres deep and 10 centimetres across. So we're going to fold and burnish on all our score lines. Readjust my grid paper. I hope you've enjoyed this year's 12 Weeks of Christmas. It's definitely been something that's a bit different for me. I did 12 tags of Christmas last year, so lots of 3D projects has been a bit of a challenge. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut up these little score lines here. So you've got 5 score lines across and 4 score lines up and 2 across. We're going to cut up from the edge just the first horizontal. We're going to do that 8 times because we've got 4 on each side, which then gives you 5 flaps on each side of your box. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So I'm going to turn it onto the inside, and these top 2 pieces here are going to form our lid. So I'm going to take my 1-inch circle punch and I'm just going to take a little notch out of the front, out of the kind of long edge, which is going to be our thumb grip. I'm going to take my fast fuse and I'm going to put some fast fuse on the very first 2 flaps, one on each side. I'm going to leave these two pieces without adhesive on. We're going to pop some fast fuse on the next two. If my fast fuse will behave itself. Leave the next two and fast fuse on the bottom ones. So to form the lid first, we'll push these two flaps in, and these two are going to come around to form the lid. So that's the lid of our box. And we're going to do exactly the same with the base of our box. So I'm going to push these two that haven't got adhesive in, and I'm going to fold them up, or either fold these towards you and to stick them on, or away, or this one away from you, whichever you find easiest. Right. Okay, so my video camera's playing silly buggers again, and I don't quite know where it cut you off. What you're going to do is going to fold the tag pieces up so you end up with two stuck together which form your lid, and the other three on each side stuck together to make your base. I will put full written instructions on my blog just in case I didn't catch that on video, because I don't know where it stopped. And we close it up by folding the lid over the base like that. I've then got a piece of designer series paper. This is from Home for Christmas, and it measures 8.5 inches by 2 inches, or 22 centimetres by 5 centimetres. And I'm just going to wrap this around. You could carefully score it using your Simply Scored. I think it's much easier just to gently fold it into like around your box, and then create the proper score lines afterwards. There we go, and then you know it's going to fit. I'm going to pop a piece or a bit of fast fuse onto that little tag on the end, and I'm going to fold that back around my box like so. If you're using an image that matters whether it's the right side up or not, please pay attention to that, because I did get it wrong the first time round and my baubles were upside down. So now we've got our belly band on. I've got the A Little Something stamp set, and I'm going to use the A Little Something for You. And I've got a piece of very vanilla cardstock. I'm going to stamp in Garden Green, like so. Close that back up before I put my fingers in it. I've got the 1 3/8 of an inch circle punch, and that fits around that beautifully, like so. I've got the washi label punch for a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock, and I have got the decorative label punch and a piece of Garden Green cardstock. On this one I used a piece of Pacific Point, because that's the colour of the baubles. But I've literally just got red and green. There is some yellow, but I just didn't quite fancy that. So, dimensionals. I'm going to put one dimensional on the back of our circle and layer that onto the washi label. 2 dimensionals on our washi label piece onto the decorative label, and then another 2 dimensionals onto the decorative label onto the top of our box. And that is my chocolate box for this year. Thank you ever so much for watching. As always, the links to all the products I've used are on the blog, and the link is in the down bar below. Please hit that subscribe button, and thank you very much. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.